Welcome back. We love having you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming back. And today's a little extra special day.
Yes.
Today is your wife's birthday.
It certainly is.
Latanya, if you're watching, happy birthday, happy birthday, Latanya. We love you. Come back.
She said to tell you she can't wait to get a job so she can come back on the show.
She crushed last time she was on. We had a great time.
Yeah, man.
Well, I read somewhere recently that you kind of have a little anniversary coming up because the first
That
time.
just passed.
No, not your wedding anniversary.
Oh, that thing.
Oh, yeah, the different anniversary.
Oh.
Moving to New York.
Oh, that.
That is-
Yeah, we moved here Halloween night, 1976.
Wow.
We drove from Atlanta. We were living with some friends of ours down on Barrow Street in the Village. So we drove right into the middle of the Halloween parade, not knowing it was happening. It was like, what the hell is this? That's a nun with green hair and a beard.
And New York City's
And the
fun,
streets
man.
were packed, man. It was like, oh, this is special. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to New York.
That's right. Welcome to New York. That's a great way to do it. That's a good way to christen the whole city. You got a lot going on right now. The piano lesson I want to get into, but also you're in a big Peacock series right now, which is called Fight Night. It was, by the way, that was a big hit for Peacock.
It was.
It was the biggest thing that has happened to these streaming services. So thank you for that. It was kind of in our
That was
family.
great. Yeah, the last episode was either this week or last week.
Yeah. Congrats on that.
Great, thank
but
you.
then another giant honor. This Wednesday, the Museum of Modern Art is holding a big event to honor your career. Wow. That's gotta be. You
Should
go
be
from the
fun.
Halloween parade.
Yeah.
You go from the Halloween parade where you go, I don't know if the city's too big for you, or I don't know if I'm gonna be afraid of this, to now the city's kind of honoring you at
Yeah.
MoMA.
Well, yeah, somebody giving you a list of all your movies and go, pick 5 clips that you want shown. You go, really?
Yeah. Just show the whole thing. Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick 5 favorite things out of, I guess, the movies that I've done. I don't remember them all. They're like blurs because.
Will they bring back memories when you get there and you go, oh,
Yeah, I know the characters. You know, when people talk about the movie, okay, that character, yeah. But you know, people have different kinds of favorites.
Well, yeah. I mean, on Halloween alone, people dress like 4 different types of Samuel L. Jacksons.
Well, yeah. You got Mace Windu.
Mace Windu.
You got Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Jules, for sure. Yeah, a lot of Jules out there.
Oh, speaking of Mace Windu, by the way, you just did an interview recently talking about Star Wars and Mace Windu, and you said something very controversial, a lot of controversy.
I don't know that it's controversial. I mean, there's a long history of one-armed, one-handed people in the Star Wars universe. So
That is interesting.
Just because they cut my arm off and I fell out a window doesn't mean I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know, it just means I'm a Jedi. The second most powerful Jedi in the universe, next to Yoda. So
you think Mace Windu is still alive?
yeah, he's out there. Yeah, he's out there walking the earth with Jules.
Yeah. I thought it might be fun if we go through some of your iconic characters and see where do you think they are now.
Oh,
Okay? And just see like Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction. One of the most iconic characters, and man, you just nailed this one. What is Jules up to?
Well, he said he was going to walk the earth and, get into adventures, and I'm sure he's out there handling that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he is?
Totally.
He's totally around. He's still.
Totally hanging around, just cruising through the.
Did you know it was going to be this big when you shot this?
There's no way to understand that about any movie. You make them, you throw them at the wall, you hope they stick.
Yeah.
I know when I read it, my friends would like it. I knew I loved it when I read it, and I said, well, it's going to be a little hit. People are going to like it. But we didn't know until I went to Cannes with Bruce Willis. We were shooting Die Hard. So we took a plane to Cannes to watch the movie because it was in competition. And we realized people were digging the hell out of this movie. And they were listening to it in French with the headphones on.
Wow.
So we said, oh, this is going to be all right.
Yeah,
And
this
then we
working
won the
is good in
Palme
French.
d'Or, and, rest is history. It's been around forever.
It's really it holds up, and the soundtrack holds up. It's just
And I
everything.
get like 5 million new fans for that movie because they get old enough to watch it. Their parents haven't let them watch it yet. So it's like 5 million new people go, oh, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it really is. How about this? Ray Arnold was your character from Jurassic Park. Now, we didn't really see Ray die. Really.
Well, you didn't see Ray die because I was supposed to shoot a death scene, but there was a big hurricane that tore up all the sets. So I didn't get to go to Hawaii, so they just decided to stick my arm, on a wall or on the floor or wherever. So now I figured like Mace Windu, he got out there in the park and made friends with the velociraptors, and he got a couple of them that he could ride.
Yeah, okay, good. All right. That's a good.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about Nick Fury. What do you think? Where...
Nick Fury. I used to ask people at Marvel, the powers that be, I said, why Nick Fury never show up in Wakanda? It's like, Nick Fury knows everything.
Yeah.
So he gotta know where Wakanda is and what's happening there.
Yes.
I said, how can this, the blackest super spy on the earth do not get to go to Wakanda? So I figured, he finally discovered Wakanda. He's over there chilling.
Okay, yeah. That is a good point. One of my favorites, Frozone. That kids can watch this one. One for the kids. I love The Incredibles. That was a great movie.
Come on. This is like so wonderful. Frozone, has his wife redoing his super suit. So he can get his own show.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We need a Frozone.
Probably trying to put some music out like everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then final, Agent Neville Flynn, Snakes on a Plane.
Well, I figured Neville, made peace with all those snakes and moved to Florida and opened up one of those little places you pass on the highway.
I know the exact place.
Yeah, the exact place. Yeah. Add a couple crocodiles.
Yeah. 300 snakes. Yeah.
He landed out making snake bags. If anybody needs a bag, stop by.
When you did those the iconic line from this film, was everyone like the studio like, oh yeah, this is gonna be legendary?
Didn't get to do it. I kept saying, look, gotta have this line on the plane when we break the windows, and they're like, no, Sam, we're trying to do this PG thing, and we had already used up our quota of F words. So you can only have 2 to keep the movie PG. So they had to edit those out after they tested the movie and do reshoots to get the iconic line.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And they did reshoots just to...
Yeah, we in Vancouver for months with a whole big-ass plane, and then they come back and they just got one wall, couple of seats, and I get to say the iconic line.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm glad you did it. Thank you for doing that. Let's talk about The Piano Lesson. Last time you were here, you were doing the play on Broadway. You got Tony nominated. Congratulations for that. It's a beautiful play, and now it's a film.
Yeah.
How do we set up this film?
Well, it's still the story of this piano that one family member wants to sell, one family member wants to keep as an heirloom, and it's a struggle among the rest of the family to see if you're on Team Boy Willie or Team Bernice.
Yeah. Do you want to sell it and get the money, or do you want to keep the memories and know the history behind it?
Exactly. So you find, me and my older brother sitting on the porch, having a conversation about what's going on between
it's fantastic.
The younger siblings.
And it's John David Washington.
John David is Boy Willie. Danielle Detweiler is now playing Bernice. Malcolm Washington, the youngest son, is the director.
Wow.
Isn't
that great, huh?
Yeah. And his sister is the head of production. She's running. So it's a big family thing. Denzel's producing it, and Pauletta's in it, and his other sister's in it, Olivia. So.
But didn't you play Boy Willie when you were...
I was the original Boy Willie at Yale, 32, 3 years ago.
Did you give him advice? You give John...
My wife gave me strict instructions when we were doing the play, never talk to John Washington about Boy Willie.
Really? She's like, he's got it.
He's got to figure it out himself, and I don't want you, putting your craziness in his head. So
that's great.
I never said a word.
To the birthday girl. That's I want to show everyone a clip here. Samuel L. Jackson in The Piano Lesson. Take a look at this.
Bunnies don't know, but I seen Sutter before she did.
Say what?
About 3 weeks ago, I had just come back from down there. Sutter couldn't been dead more than 3 days. He was sitting over there at the piano. I come out to go to work, he's sitting right there.
He say anything? He say he was looking for Boy Willie? I ain't heard him say nothing. He just sitting there. I don't believe boy Willie pushed him in well, though. Sutter here calls that piano. Bernice need to go on and sell it. He ain't done nothing but cause trouble.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, The Piano Lesson, is in select theaters November 8th and streams on Netflix November 22nd. We'll be right back with Justin Hartley, everybody. Stick around. Samuel L. Jackson.